Nerd Reactor, roll out.
What's up, Reactorites? John here, and it's been a long week at E3, and I was able to check out a lot of different games, demonstrations, presentations, and all that. But one of the games I was looking forward to the most was Cyberpunk 2077 by CD Projekt Red, and for this one, the presentation, it was around 50 minutes long, and we really get to see the gameplay. And I know that some people have been reading up about it and hearing stuff about the game being a first-person shooter, and some are being worried because, Witcher has been a series that, CD Projekt Red has created before, developed before, and it's third-person view, Geralt Rivia, all that. This one, some people wanted it to be third-person, especially when the game has custom creation for your characters, and it does have custom creation. You can choose between male or female, and it's kind of funny, just the way it started out, where your character is naked, and it's like starting from scratch. You can choose your gender and the style. You get the punk rock look, and I love the visual, just the character design done by CD Projekt Red, because their previous games, they've had great character designs, especially with The Witcher 3. All the characters, Geralt, Ciri, Trish, Yennefer, etc. For this one, going back, yes, it is first-person view for the most part, especially when you're roaming around Night City. It's a city in North California. There is a part where you can do third-person view, but it's only when you're driving. So you can switch between third-person view and first-person view. So I'm not sure if it's going to be as... the driving is going to be like Grand Theft Auto, where you can just grab a car any single time you want. But it does... you will be able to drive around the city. One of the things that I'm really hyped about this game is CD Projekt Red mentioning that after initial loading time, the rest of the game, there will be no loading times, and everything will be seamless, and that's great news, just because this is a game that's first-person view, or first-person shooter, Cyberpunk, and it does remind me a little bit of Deus Ex, because it's also a Cyberpunk type game, and it's in first-person view, and it's a shooter. So they do have some similarities, but with this game, the world is going to be bigger. And with Deus Ex, when you go to like a different area of a town, it goes into a loading screen, and it takes a while. And as for the mission that was shown to us, it was our character, the protagonist, which is V. It's the same for whether you're a male character or a female character, you will be V. And your character does talk, and if you're worried about, you're customizing your character, if it's in first-person view, I want to see it. There are some parts of the game with cutscenes where you can't see your character. For example, there's one where V is just lounging around, and you can see V just waking up. Just in for this demo, they chose the female character to play, so she's like in her underwear, getting ready, and looking for her outfits to put on, and so you see that as a cutscene, and so that's pretty cool. Yeah, this game, they really show you really early in the demo that it is a mature rated game, and there's a mission where you have to find a cyborg, and you're entering someone's place, and you see two naked people in the bathtub, a naked guy and a naked girl. So yeah, there are elements of hacking and parts where you get to go inside a person's, digital mind by hooking up, jacking into them. And then later on in the mission, you're carrying the body out and delivering it to the authorities. And so it's kind of cool to see the authorities holding their guns and telling you to back off, put the body on the ground so they can take the body and deliver it. The reason why the game is in first-person view, CD Projekt Red really wants to make you feel like you're in Night City, and it's all about the immersion, and they really want to make you feel like you're there, especially with the details in the environment. And so a part of me was like, yeah, I do wish it was third-person view. I want to see my character. But another part is, with it being first person, you really get to see the details. If only there was a way where they can blend the two, maybe like a close-up third-person view, or maybe give players the option of switching back and forth. But I guess they just strictly want to focus on just it being a first-person RPG. And of course, with Witcher, it was a medieval game with swords and magic. So for this, it's cyberpunk. It's the future. So you're gonna have futuristic weapons and cool abilities. And for the majority of the combat, it will be your character holding a weapon, shooting it, and so nothing about the combat really stood out for me. You just point your weapon, you shoot the characters, but they do have hit points, so you see the numbers popping out. It does remind me of The Division, where you're shooting an enemy and they don't die instantly depending on the level of the character. So you're shooting, you shoot for the headshot, they get weaker, but they don't die instantly compared to if you're having a realistic military shooter. So that's the case with this game. So they have the numbers popping out whenever you're shooting them, so you know if you're doing extra damage. The interesting thing about CD Projekt Red is that with this game, it looks very different in terms of the tone and all that. So if I were to look at it and, if no one said anything about it being a CD Projekt Red game, I probably wouldn't have a clue that they were behind this. Compared to, let's say, if I were to see Fallout and The Elder Scrolls, I can kind of see that it's a Bethesda game. Just in terms of just the style for the certain character designs and the graphic user interface, or maybe even Dragon Age and Mass Effect. But yeah, this one completely different, just especially since it's in first person. And then as for the driving mechanics, it's you're driving, you're in a futuristic car, and there are parts where it's driving's part of the mission. You have to evade the enemies or fight them. And I'm not sure if you can just drive anywhere, if you can just jack a car. They haven't shown that where you can just go up to any car and just take it. But for this demo, it was a designated car. The trailer is very vibrant, it's colorful, and so some people are worried that it's not going to be dark enough, especially with just the way it looks. But with Night City, you have day and night cycles. So the nighttime definitely... it will have colors and all that, but you can expect some mature content, especially with this game. And if I were to, I would say that if I were to compare this with the tone of Deus Ex, because they have similarities. Deus Ex so far feels darker, colors are muted. With here, it's more colorful. I think it's trying to capture the tabletop cyberpunk game by Michael Pondsmith. But yeah, so the demonstration overall, they show that the game's in first person. You can drive around. There's no loading screens after, once you're in the city, you can just go. It'll be seamless, and you can choose the different options. The city, Night City, is very lively. There's a lot of people, and I don't think we've ever seen that in a Witcher game where there are some of the Witcher games, Witcher 3, there are people in towns and all that. But here with Cyberpunk 2077, people are everywhere. And you really feel like this is a very cool city to be a part of, even though there's violence, etc. And so I can't wait for the game to come out. The game, hopefully, it still needs, for me, hopefully they fix some things with the first-person shooting elements. With CD Projekt Red behind this, I have faith that they can deliver an awesome and solid product, and I can't wait to create my own character and go on for a ride. So yeah, hopefully they release the gameplay footage soon so that you guys get to see it. And yeah, let me know what you thought about. If you're excited about Cyberpunk 2077, when it comes out, let me know. And I'd also like to thank our patrons on Patreon for helping this channel continue to grow. Also, like, share, subscribe. With that said, I'm John, and I'll see you guys next time.